Thank you for joining us for another episode of Stuttering in Silence. My name is Gavin Soden, and I'm joined by
Matthew Lepore.
And Matt. What are we going to be talking about today?
Movies, Gavin.
Movies and TV shows?
Movies and TV shows.
Perfect. All right, cool. Well, it sounds super fun and exciting, so I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this episode. And without further ado, let's get on to it.
All right, Gavin. Second podcast here. What do we got going on today?
Today we're going to be talking about a TV show. All right, and I think it's something that we both enjoy thoroughly.
Not just any TV show,
Not
my
just any
friend.
TV show, though. It's just a little TV show. It's kind of a niche show called Burn Notice.
Burn Notice.
Yeah.
All right, for those of you guys who don't know Burn Notice, it was on USA Network years ago. I think we're starting to show our age with that one. But
I think it debuted in like 2007. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Great year to be alive.
Because I know it ended. Because it only has, 7 seasons?
Yeah, 7 seasons.
I know it ended in 2012, so that would make sense for it to be. Well, no, that wouldn't make sense. Well, I don't know. It debuted sometime when we were kids. I know that for a fact because I used to watch it every day. But I enjoyed it more when we used to watch it, like they're like the reruns, because you get the reruns that would come on, and it would be for like 5 hours.
Yeah, 100%. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is like I said, it was on USA Network, but it is a spy show. Okay, but not just any spy show. It's our favorite person in the world, Michael Weston.
That's true. Yeah. No, Michael Weston is one of my top 5 favorite characters of all time in any TV show. But the thing is, every time we bring the TV show up to people, they're like, "Oh, that show sucks," or they're like, "Oh, that show's not good," or "I've never seen that or even heard about it," which actually I kind of like. Because then when you do find somebody that does like it, you're like, "Oh, really?" And
Yep. Especially when people were like, "Oh, dude, I love the guy that played like this person in this movie." I'm like, "Oh, Jeffrey Donovan?" Like,
yeah.
And then like you'll see them in like all these like different shows, especially like Bruce Campbell. I haven't seen Gabrielle Anwar. She played in a couple movies when she was younger. Right?
Yeah, well, she was in a movie, Pretty Woman, or not Pretty Woman, but God, I forget. Anyway, she was in a movie. She was like 18, or something like that. She was super young looking. And it's kind of funny because in this show she's a little bit older, clearly, but. No, I do enjoy the show a lot. I enjoy them. I enjoy everyone in the show on their own, but I think them all together just kind of seals the deal.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I think it's just better.
Yeah, especially with our guy Michael Weston, played by Jeffrey Donovan. He gets burned, right?
Yeah. So the whole premise of the show is he gets, obviously, as you know, but he gets burned. He's a spy for the CIA. And he gets burned, which basically means the CIA had information that would have, dismantle their operation, and instead of wasting energy, or I guess using energy and resources to pull him out of wherever he was to get him safe, they burned him and acted like they never knew him.
In the middle of the operation.
And then
he got beat up.
Yeah. So. So the show, it's like I said, it's a niche show for sure. It's one of those that I don't know. It was on USA Network, which was pretty big a couple of years ago. I don't know if it still is or even is a network anymore with all the new ones and mergers.
It's also hard because people really don't watch. I mean, I know me and everyone else that I know, we don't really watch TV. We watch Netflix or Hulu or whatever.
Well, I haven't watched TV in years. I don't think I haven't watched an episodic TV show NCIS is coming on Tuesday night at 8:00.
Yeah,
I haven't watched one of those in I would say probably 5 years.
Yeah, now they're about. Well, I mean, Netflix comes out with all these good shows, and it's easy because it's they throw 10 episodes at you.
Yeah.
And when you get done school, you get done work, or whatever it is, you're just like, all right, I'm just gonna bang out a couple episodes. Next thing you know, you're sucked in until 3 a.m.
Pretty much. That's just where it's going now. And plus, cable is so expensive.
Yeah.
Cable is really expensive.
100%.
So, I would rather pay for Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, and Netflix. What is that? $30 a month, $40 a month?
Yeah, and especially on Amazon Prime, you could watch the whole entire Burn Notice 7 seasons.
Yeah, we literally had cable in my house, and then the bills were getting insane, and we literally were like, all right, well, screw this, we're not doing this anymore. So I literally went out and bought a Amazon Fire Stick, and I haven't looked back.
Yeah, best thing I ever used when I was younger until like it started getting it on my phone and then the
Yeah.
Xbox. Yeah.
But no, I think like one of the reasons personally why I love Burn Notice is because of the rewatchability.
Oh, yes,
Yes.
yes.
You could rewatch that show. I'm not kidding you. You could rewatch that show probably 50 times and have almost the same experience every time.
And like I'm not even exaggerating when I say this. I've probably watched full 7 seasons 8 or 9 times.
Oh, I've seen
More.
it more than
Yeah.
that. Yeah, no, I've seen it more than that. I think I've probably watched that show. I would have to say, all in all, in one sitting, or like like watching it from episode one through the last episode, I've probably seen that show. I would say close to 15 times, like through and through,
That makes sense. Yeah.
and then just probably another 2 or 3 times just catching it like every random episodes on TV or just wanted to watch an episode here and there. Because there are times where like I'll get home from something and I'll be like, yo, I really want to watch this specific episode,
Sure.
and then and just watch it, and I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, cool.
I know, like, my absolute favorite one is when Michael is, like, the quote-unquote the devil. I think that's what the episode's
Yeah.
called. And he's in this... now, mind you, he has all these skills because he was, like, a top operative in the CIA. So, basically, what he would do in the episodes is he would help people, his mom especially, or people would find him off the streets and hear
Yeah.
about him and be like, listen, I have a problem.
Yeah,
And then he would help them out. So, in that specific episode, he was helping out these... what was it? It was the people in this neighborhood, correct? Was that what it was? Or
yeah. I guess like it was part of like supposed to be a ghetto or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
And then it was, what was it, like what was the people that helped them? It was I think it was like the owner of like a pharmacy or something.
yeah,
right?
yeah, it was the owner of the pharmacy, and then people were like just trying to absolutely just take over.
Yeah.
And there was like, no, this isn't gonna happen. This isn't gonna happen. So he comes in this black suit, but then he has like red, like a red shirt. He's just all decked out. He looks like the devil in a lot of
Yeah.
regards. And what the cool thing he would do is whenever he snapped, something would blow up.
Yeah.
So like in like the final scene of that episode, they like handcuff him, but they tinker with the handcuffs, and he like puts his finger up and he goes, that's it, and snaps and does
Yeah.
all this kind of stuff. And then these people were just absolutely afraid of him.
They were
And
terrified.
He didn't even have to
Wouldn't
use
you be?
I would.
Somebody just rolled up, hey, and then someone just blows up. I'd be like, hello?
Yeah, no, I would be absolutely terrified. But
Yeah. But no, I think and for those that haven't really seen or heard of the show, you can definitely you can definitely catch it on Amazon Prime. I don't know if it's still on Netflix or not, but I know that it's on Amazon Prime. Most people probably have Amazon Prime at this point, so just go ahead and check it out. I would advise you to give it at least 2 to 3 episodes, because once you watch 2 to 3 episodes, you pretty much get the whole. That's pretty much how it's going to be the whole time. Like you're not going to get you're not going to get a change really um, in the mechanics of the show, I guess, or like the outline of the show. Because it's basically set up the same way where, for the first season, all Michael is trying to do is get his old life back, get his his job back, get his old life back, and everything that could go wrong does go wrong, basically. And so the whole point of the first season is him, I guess, adjusting to a totally different life now, and then trying to figure out who put him in this position, who did this to him. So I strongly advise anyone that hasn't seen the show to go and give it at least 2 to 3 episodes, ideally 3 episodes.
Oh, definitely 3, because the first one is kind of cool. It's kind of him just kind of coming back into
Yeah, well, he's like confused, like he's like running around like what's happening.
And a lot of people like the characters aren't as developed. I think they tried too hard, especially with his mom.
Yeah.
And then like Fiona, his girlfriend, who
Yeah.
was wasn't KGB, it was IRA, right?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, and she has like an Irish accent. But then the next episode she doesn't. But everything is way, I guess, calmed down and like normalized. The first
Yeah.
episode they try to do so much, so it
Yeah.
turns some people off. But definitely, 2 or 3 episodes will
Yeah.
Be perfect.
Yeah, well, yeah. Once you watch, if you do watch those, you'll kind of understand how the show works. Pretty
Yeah.
much like, and then obviously more characters get introduced,
Like Sam
like
Max.
Sam and Jesse later on, and
Oh,
so on
Jesse.
and so forth. But,
They do him dirty.
but yeah, no. One of the reasons, like when I used to watch that show, I liked it because I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm a really big Supernatural fan, and the reason for that is it's campy and it doesn't
Sure,
it,
yeah.
it takes itself seriously without taking itself seriously.
Okay.
So like to put into perspective, um, you know, you watch a movie about superheroes, right? You know that superheroes don't exist.
Yeah.
They know superheroes don't exist, but it's still a serious movie, right? Like you watch like Man of Steel or The Avengers or something. It's still a pretty serious movie. So, what do you do when you do that, but with just a different kind of fantasy, right? But the reason why I like it is because I feel like in the first few seasons they took themselves pretty seriously, and then as the seasons went on, so there's 15 seasons, I believe. But as the
For
seasons,
Supernatural?
yeah, as the seasons went on, they just kind of stopped taking themselves seriously, and going about it that way.
Yeah, my dad
Um,
loves that show.
yeah, yeah. So that's why I like it, and that's why I like this show a lot because literally it doesn't. It is what it is, and it knows what it is, and it is kind of serious, but it also has a lot of jokes, a lot of funny moments, a lot of moments where you're like, all right,
Yeah, so it's when you have Sam Max, and Michael Weston. Sam is Michael's best friend, and
yeah,
in the beginning, you're gonna see Sam. He was a Navy SEAL,
yeah,
and he was I don't want to say washed up, but he wasn't in the service anymore. And they actually tell you his what happened to him, but it wasn't in the actual main seasons of it. You had to watch like
you had to watch a different show or movie.
Yeah, it was like
It was like the Sam Axe movie,
the Sam Max whatever it was. It was a couple episodes, whatever it showed.
Avengers, Age of Sam.
Nope.
No,
But it was cool. You got to see like Sam when he was like a Navy SEAL. He cut down for that.
yeah,
But yes, he was actually like informing on Michael to the FBI, like not like being sneaky about it, but like
The
Michael
Dark
would feed
Sam.
him stuff and
the Dark Sam rises. Sorry.
but Michael would be like, hey, just tell the FBI this, and then the FBI would buy him a cool lunch and they'd throw him like $50 and be like, thanks guys, and then like yeah, Sam is a real friend though.
Yeah.
They've been in a lot of sticky situations together. And then
Yeah, especially when like, I forget what. I haven't watched the show in a little bit, so I forget what season it was or what episode. But I know there was a time where there was like, their relationship was really strained, and like really tense for a little bit. I think it was because like Michael was like risking his life for something, and then
Oh.
Sam was like, "What are you doing?" And then
that happens a couple times.
Yeah.
I know in like season was is it 6, 5 or 6? Michael starts getting back into the CIA, and I know Fiona was not having it, and Sam was like, "What are you doing? Like this is not you anymore."
right, because they used him to
Oh yeah.
kind of like propel his. Like they basically said, we'll get you what you want. You just gotta work for us.
And he was working with Simon, which
He
is
was
one of the
working with
biggest things
Simon,
that Sam and Michael were just
Yeah.
bickering over, because now, for those of you obviously who don't know, Simon is this absolute psychopath. Did all these crazy things, and
No, I mean absolute. Psychopath.
like legitimately were blowing people up, committing legit acts of terror for
Yeah.
the U.S. government. But the crazy thing about it was, and this is kind of a spoiler. I mean, this whole episode is.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you guys haven't seen it by now,
it's your own fault.
get on it. But so that he was actually the reason that Michael got burnt in the first place. They swapped files. They gave Simon's file to Michael. Michael gets burnt just to kind of get rid of him. And then later in the seasons, he ends up working with Simon, and that's when Sam is like, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you're risking your life. You're selling your soul. Like, what is this?"
Although I would say that the later seasons were pretty good. I mean, I don't feel like they were as good as the early seasons, like 1 through 2 or 3.
Yeah, well, he's doing a lot more like freelance stuff. He's
Yeah.
really developed at that point.
I just like how it like. I like how it comes to a full end. Like they didn't do a cliffhanger really.
No.
Like they didn't do or whatever. It was like it gave it a solidified end to be like, all right, like this is what it is. But no, I enjoyed it, and I think for me, it's just one of the. I mean, everyone has those shows, where you watch a show, you love it, you keep watch. Like I know for a lot of girls that I know, if you're a guy and enjoy this show too, it's nothing against you, but Grey's Anatomy, every girl I know watches that show.
Every.
Um,
Yeah.
I don't. I don't know why. I don't think it's a good show.
Yeah,
But
you
hey,
nursing majors out there, yeah, trust
yeah,
me, you know.
yeah. I don't know why. I don't particularly like it. But that's the whole point. Even if somebody doesn't like something, you have other people that would die for it.
Sure.
Would love it. But yeah, I just remember vividly, dude, like watching Burn Notice, and like just it'd be me and my dad, and we would get done like eating dinner, or we would be eating dinner, and it would be like a Thursday. Okay, it'd be a Thursday night.
So it was Thursday.
It was
Yeah.
always Thursday, and it was on. Was it on Ion?
It wasn't Ion later. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we would do is we would get like a bunch of food, and we would watch the show, and we would get on the couch, and we'd have like our bowls of pasta or whatever we had, and we would just start watching it, and we would watch like 4 or 5 episodes, and then it was always cool because then like the next day was Friday. Go to school on a Friday. You're loving life.
You're all hyped up, like, oh, I just watched an NCAA operative just crush it.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I'm like a little kid, not little, but I'm a young kid, like going through puberty and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And so but it was cool because then like you go to bed and you're thinking about it. You're like, oh man, like I love that show. Like I don't know
What would
what's gonna
happen if someone
next.
came
Yeah.
into the school?
Yeah,
and I took him down.
Oh, I'm gonna take him down because I know how to do this.
My
Cause
crush will see this.
yeah, like I'm gonna beat him up because I know how to fight now. And all this stuff. And then like it was something that one of the shows that me and my dad just kind of bonded over.
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
And it was cool. I really enjoyed it. So like I said, if you haven't watched the show, I would definitely try to at least give it a chance.
Trust me, just it's like anything. Like imagine like you trying to tell a friend that you have to watch this. You have to watch this show. They're like, I don't know, man. Like if you guys just give it like 3-4 episodes, you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Well, what was probably your favorite episode out of the whole thing?
My favorite episode was probably favorite episode. You know what I really enjoyed? I really enjoyed the one where Michael goes to see Fiona or like help her on a job, and all of a sudden her brother comes from Ireland, and he has to all of a sudden go from Michael Weston to Michael McBride.
Yeah, when Seamus
was, yeah. So basically, the whole point of the episode was he was from the IRA, and he owed money or guns or something to this guy, and he comes to Fiona in America for help, and she's like, "Of course we'll help you." The problem was when Michael and Fiona first met. It's bad, like the context of their relationship. When they first met, Michael was undercover for the CIA as Michael McBride. And he had like an Irish accent. He was supposed to be from Ireland. All this stuff, right? Now, obviously, as their off-screen relationship commenced, she found out he was in the CIA and he was an operative and so on and so forth. The problem was her brother had no idea. So her brother still thinks Michael McBride's a real person and so on and so forth. So it's funny. I really enjoyed the scene where Michael walks in and he's like, "Hey, Fee," and then boom, her brother comes up and he's like, I can't do an Irish accent, but he's like, "Hi, Michael," and he's like, and like you see him like go through like the process of like, who is this person, and like who am I to him? Yep. And then he's like, he snaps into character, and he's like back to being the Irish Michael McBride, and I really enjoyed that episode because like,
well, that was there's also one that they met when Fee was trying to get killed, and I think I don't know if this is the one that you're talking about specifically, but she was trying to get, she had an enemy back in Ireland.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but that was one of the reasons why Seamus came out. It is Seamus, right? I'm pretty sure it is.
Well, I know what we're doing today. We're watching the show.
And there's a break in the episode. Where were these guys?
Where were these guys for like 4 hours? Well,
rewatched.
We figured it out, guys. His name was definitely Seamus. But no, yeah, no, I think that was probably one of my favorite episodes. I also really enjoyed like in the later seasons, like the last season or season 6, when like the whole thing where the Fiona was like going to prison and stuff.
Oh,
that was definitely. Yeah. I really enjoyed that
episode.
Sean.
Glenn.
Gotcha. Yeah. So yeah. So it was just one of those things where it was just kind of cool. And the thing too is like, so obviously everybody's into action movies, right? Like you watch like if you're a guy, you probably know all about the Jason Bourne movies, you know about James Bond, you know about like all the fighting movies, right? What's cool about this movie or this show, I should say, is you watch the show and like the fight scenes really aren't anything special, but the show is simple, and that's why it's fun to watch because they're still doing kind of complex things and maneuvering and how to like process of elimination and like how to tactically think through things and analyze things, and it's on a pretty low budget, you know.
What is cool about that, and I want to bring it up, is like he'll explain as he goes through. So
Yeah,
like there's times when Fiona and him are making like a bomb, or they're
yeah,
making like a super low tech that's supposed to be high tech like
yeah,
listening device, but he'll be like buying like a really cheap phone. He'll like, all right, now we need to look for like a really cheap phone.
yeah,
This is gonna be really good because now back in 2003, the microphones picked up everything. There was no like muffling or whatever it
Yeah.
is, and he would explain how to kind of do it, but in like a funny, quirky like spy way.
yeah.
And it was like, oh, maybe I could do this at home.
Well, what's funny about that is when it comes to like building guns or weapons or bombs or anything, legally they have to omit things for the TV show.
What do you mean?
So you can't make a TV show and have them be like, "Hey, this is how you make a hydrogen bomb."
Yeah.
Like word for word, and then some kid will be like, "Oh yeah, let's try it out."
Daddy,
And
look
then
what I made today.
now you have a 15-year-old kid who just made a hydrogen bomb, yeah, or something like that. You know what I mean? Or like whatever, like a gun puts together a weapon or a listening device or some kind of spy equipment. You know.
Yeah.
But no, so they have to omit a couple things or like falsify some information. Like they'll be
Sure.
like, oh, to make this C4 clay putty thing, you have to add this with this, and it's like that's not correct. Or they'll be like, you have to wait this long for it to be an adhesive. And it's like that's not correct either. But what is it? But like you said, it is cool because like he'll be like putting stuff together and it looks so simple because he's just like he'll be like, we need a tracking device. Give me a flip phone, an apple, and a yogurt cup.
Oh yeah, his blueberry yogurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like he just figures it out and puts stuff together, and then all of a sudden he has like a fully functioning like tracking device, and you
Yeah.
know,
And then Sam's always listening to it.
Sam's always in the car,
Michael, I heard something. All right, Sam, come over to the loft.
and then Fee's always like, "You got 2 minutes." He's like,
You got-
"I'm working."
I'm working. But then eventually, as you kind of progress through, Michael's trying to get information from the CIA, like why he got burned, what's happening, trying to kind of piece together his life. Because really, all he wants is to kind of get back in the agency.
Yeah.
And he comes in and he's like, "All right, I have this pass key. I'm gonna go into the agency. I'm gonna log in. I'm gonna get the information." As they leave, he gets the information he needs, and boom. That's where Jesse starts coming. He gets taken out by the police.
Oh yeah.
So Fee turns to him, Fiona, and she goes, "I think you just got another spy burnt." And you just kind of see his face just drop. And then later on, they befriend Jesse, and this is when Jesse is even in like the title,
No.
or the title sequence where they're all talking.
Well,
Yeah.
well, it's because Jesse was a spy, and Michael inadvertently burned him.
Yes, yeah.
And then and then when he like befriends, they like become friends. It's like it's like 10 episodes, like 6 episodes or something before Jesse finds out.
Or more, yeah.
So it's like you're just watching it like with like bated breath. You're like, ugh.
Cause and then there's like one where Jesse's like, "Man, I'm really glad I found you guys. I don't know what I would do without you. Like, I'm in just such a tough spot. I got burned by the agency.
Yeah.
I'm glad I ran into you guys." And then like Jesse would leave, and it'd be like Fiona and Michael at the end, and they'd be like, Fiona would slap him.
Yeah.
"You're an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, look what you're doing. We're lying to him. You're such a good guy."
Yeah, because like Jesse would be like, "You guys are really there for me," and then like he'll leave, and they'll be like, "What the like, God, Michael, why would you do this?"
And the
he's
sad part is just like they really did care about him. Like they really would have his back, and it wasn't like they were pretending to be friends with him.
No.
But there was also like an ulterior motive to why they were with it. So it was a weird situation. And then like when Jesse finds out, Michael's like, I really need to talk to you because they're all worried that Jesse's gonna kill him and
Yeah.
like the rest of this family. And then like Michael's sitting in a cafe at like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Jesse walks in. He goes,
Oh, that's what it was. That just reminded me. I now know what my actual favorite plot was. So my favorite plot line was in, I think it was season 5 or 6, or no, it was season six. Six. It was 6 or 7 when Michael gets like kidnapped by the really rich guy. Remember he gets kidnapped and he's like being like he's in that room and he's like they won't let him sleep. They keep blaring that siren
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
like they
yeah.
pull him out and
Oh,
like they like
that
to
was
break
that
him
was I think
mentally.
that was one of the final seasons.
Yeah, it was like season
Oh
6 or 7.
my gosh, yeah.
That was so good.
That okay. So for those of you guys who don't know, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I'll check it out here. Um, but Michael is back in the agency, and he has to take down this quote unquote terrorist organization.
It's kind of like a I don't know if it's like a religious cult, but it's kind of like that same feel where it's
Yeah.
like there was like one guy who's like a quote unquote prophet or like a quote unquote like a I guess like a reincarnation of Messiah or something like that to them.
Yeah.
He's like the cult leader, and they're like you got to take him down because he's a terrorist. And so then Michael infiltrates this guy's organization, and one of the tests that happens is they're like, oh, at first they're like, oh, that's super cool, and then they kidnap him and they put him in a room to like break him. All right, so the whole point of it is so that if he is a cop or if he is a spy or whatever, he'll eventually break and be like, fine, 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 you know. But he doesn't break. And so then they're like, finally, like we know, like you're one of us now, and whatever. Or like we can trust you, or at least begin to try and trust you, or stuff like along those lines. Um, and so it's just you know that's that whole plot line was just so cool because like you know it was definitely a more serious take on the show. So you don't have like your funny quips and your things along those lines. It was just it is what it is. It's very serious and very, you know, very just blatant, I guess.
Yeah, James Kendrick.
Oh
That's what it
yeah,
was. Yeah, he was the leader of the organization. The CIA was trying to take him down. It was in yeah, season 7.
yeah,
But yeah, so it was actually it was insane. That probably was one of the best episodes. And it's really kind of sad because he is living after he gets interrogated by James. James runs this whole
yeah,
terrorist organization, and it's kind of weird because in a way, the show kind of allows you to like him. And correct me if I'm wrong,
yeah.
but they were like, yes, they were murdering people, just straight up killing people, but like bad people.
Yeah, like he was a terrorist fighting terrorism.
Yeah,
So like he would kill like a terrorist leaders like he would blow up his house or something.
yeah, or
And
they
like
would,
yeah, they might kill a maid or they might kill like some bystanders, but in the end they kill
yeah,
the terrorist group. And so then as you're watching the show, you kind of get that sense of like Michael at first is like, this is a job, this is my mission, this is what's going to happen. And then as the season goes on, he's starting to think like, well, this guy's really not that bad. But
well,
then the show kind of gives you that: or is he just drinking the Kool-Aid, or is he does he have a point?
well, I mean, and that's one of the things is, especially with like the interrogation that they have him do,
Yeah,
the sleep deprivation, and then he would sit with James, and James would have his entire file in front of him,
yep,
and he would go through it line by line over weeks of and injecting him with this, I guess, truth serum,
yeah,
or it would make him like hallucinate. But like there were times when like he would argue with Fiona or Sam, and he'd be like, you know what, maybe James is right.
yeah,
Maybe this is like an organization that is really doing good, and the CIA is bad. And,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, I mean, the CIA really isn't a good
that's
organization.
also true.
Anyway, but no, yeah. So especially in the show, they're kind of the CIA is kind of like is kind of portrayed as just like these scumbags that just don't care about anybody. They just have a job, they have a mission, and they're going to complete their mission.
Yeah, yeah,
Which I guess is pretty accurate for. I don't know. I'm not in the CIA, obviously, as far as you guys know.
that we know of.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed that plot line, and then that's pretty much that's like I said, it's towards the end of the show's life cycle, but you know it's definitely not going to be a show that would win like any nominations for anything or?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking it didn't get enough it didn't get enough clout, or it didn't like get the recognition it deserved, because it
Yeah.
definitely was a fantastic show. It had everything from your romances, your friends, to like family problems, especially with Nate. Nate Weston is his brother, obviously,
Oh,
with
yeah.
the same last name. And Nate's kind of like your little brother who can't get his life together.
Yeah, that's being nice.
From gambling to drinking to drugs to like getting
Getting
in with
shot.
like getting shot. Oh, Nate.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Um,
But he
yeah,
does get shot.
yeah, he is. Yeah, he's definitely not what you would say a good role model. You know, you're gonna be like, "Hey, Nate, what are you doing today?" "Oh, I'm doing a line and going to the casino."
Well, I mean, he does kind of clear it out when he starts that
Eventually.
limo company.
But even then,
But
even then, yeah.
so
even
the
then.
reason we're kind of making noises and a little claims of exclamation here is because as Nate progresses throughout the story, he's a fuck up. He does all this stuff. He messes around.
Yeah.
He's kind of getting his life together. Then he has a kid. His wife leaves him, and whatever it is. But then he starts this limo company. He gets this big investor.
Yeah,
And who was it? Garrett Barrett.
Barrett.
Barrett, I think that's his
Right,
name.
or
I'll find it here. But it was this bad guy, right?
Yeah.
And he's this big arms dealer, and he, in turn, is this big investor for Nate.
yeah,
Okay, and Nate is now being held hostage, but then Nate doesn't know he's being held hostage.
Yeah.
He's talking to a quote unquote investor who is
Yeah.
a trained assassin. So then that gets kind of blown up, and then when they're trying to kill Anson, now you remember Anson?
Yeah. Well, Anson was like, so like I don't know, if you've ever watched or like followed a lot of like comic book stuff, but this would be like a good parallel would be like, so you have like Superman, who one of his biggest detractors or his biggest enemies is Brainiac.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Batman, one of his biggest enemies is the Joker or Bane or whatever. And now
I've never heard of those. Ever.
no, so the point is you always have a superhero or like a hero that always has their big baddie that they can't ever quite beat in some sense. So like in terms of Batman, it's forever. It's been Batman versus the Joker, right? It's been Batman versus Bane. It's been Superman versus Brainiac or Superman versus General Zod or whatever. And so with this show, it's kind of the same kind of thing, whereas Anson is kind of like his big baddie, where like no matter what Michael does to get around him and he's using every tactic he has to his advantage, and Anson's always 5 steps ahead.
And when Gavin says 5 steps ahead, he legitimately means 5 or more. Like there were, I don't know how many times Anson would. Well, I mean, Anson brought back Simon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he brought back Simon. Had Mike. He used Michael
To get Simon.
to get Simon,
Yeah.
and Simon's that big terrorist guy, that ends up working for the CIA. And then at the end, when they finally go to kill Anson, there's this sniper. I can't remember what his name was. He goes to take out Anson.
Yeah.
Middle of like the street. Anson's coming out of some business meeting or whatever.
I thought wasn't that the one where Anson was on the beach, or is that?
Well, this is when they get shot.
Yeah, but I thought that was when he was on the beach. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong.
Well, no, because Anson comes out of that building, right?
Right.
And he is coming out, and Nate's like, "Oh no, it was the casino." They found Anson in the casino.
Okay.
And Nate was like, "I got this. I'm gonna track him down," because Nate was a big gambler, huge gambler.
Yeah.
So Nate's in the casino.
Right.
They track down Anson. They're like, "We're gonna get him. We're gonna arrest him." Michael's working with the CIA. They're all good to go. They have him. They're gonna get him. And then as they go, Anson is like coming out of the casino. Nate pulls a gun and stops Anson. Stands in front of Anson.
Right. That's
And
right.
then there was that sniper. I can't remember his name, but I'll find it out in a second.
I forgot about that.
And the sniper takes the shot, right?
Yes.
But what's weird is No one knows who shot Anson at first.
Right.
But the thing was, is you just see Nate standing there, and Anson just gets a hole through him.
Right.
And then you see Nate standing in front of him, and Nate's just bleeding out.
Yeah.
Come to find out, the one sniper used like a Barrett 50 cal or whatever he was using, because he didn't want to have to worry about like the wind or the trajectory of the Earth spinning or whatever it was, because he was insanely far away, and kills both Nate and Anson. And it was probably the saddest couple episodes afterwards.
Because you have like Michael come in, and he's like you kind of see like Michael is like the hero that couldn't save. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen The Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man.
No.
So basically, he's Spider-Man and he's doing his thing, and I don't mind those movies. I don't really like them too much, but you know, it is what it is. But at the end of the movie, he has to save Gwen Stacy, which is like his Mary Jane in this movie, right? And he can't. I mean, everyone's seen it, so he can't save her. And so what happens is literally like she's falling, and he jumps down after her, and he shoots his web, and he's trying to grab her, and he like connects her, to his web, and he's like trying to save her, and literally at the last second, like he needed maybe like a foot more of space of before, and like he catches her, and she hits the ground, and like she's just like dangling in the air, and like she like smacked her spine on the ground, and then she died. And like he was like, you know, that was it. Like he couldn't save her. The big superhero couldn't save the one person he really wanted to save. And so with this show, it's kind of like that. He kind of feels like, oh crap, like
Yeah, Tyler Gray.
Tyler Gray was a sniper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So he kind of feels like he couldn't save Nate, and then did his mom hold him responsible? Like, was she like super pissed at him?
So because Michael was again like working with the CIA again, and to kind of help find Anson and really take him down, this was like Michael's big ticket in. Plus, Anson's been running his life and putting his friends, his family, and his other missions that he's been helping like Good Samaritans with, in jeopardy.
Yeah,
he's like, I got to take this guy down. He's been literally ahead of Michael
Everything.
for like the first like 4 episodes.
Well, yeah, because like
seasons.
the way, like, to put into perspective, it would be like they're like, all right, we have to take down this guy, right, Anson, right, and then they spend like a whole episode figuring out how to take him down, and they put all this time, money, energy, effort into figuring out what he's gonna do, where he's gonna be, how to take down. So they'll take down a couple of his bodyguards, and they'll be like, all right, we have like a sniper trained on him, or like all you got to do is get him in this location, and then they'll get him in the location. They'll have the gun aimed on him. They'll be like, all you have to do is pull the trigger, and then boom, he'll call Michael, or he'll be like talking to Michael, and he'll be like, yeah, Michael, I see, it's cool you have Sam up there with the sniper trained at my head. But hey, did you check on your mom recently? That floral dress she's wearing today looks great.
And then he'd call his mom. Like,
And
hey,
she's
Mom, where are you?
she's like, oh, I'm at home. Hey, you wearing are you wearing a dress today? Oh yeah, I found it in the closet. And then Anson's like, you try to kill me, like I'll blow her house up or something. And then it's like, that's how it every time it happens.
Oh, and Madeline Weston is his mom, obviously. What was her boyfriend that Anson was running? Remember this?
Yeah.
And he gets blown up.
Right, because Michael was like, you shouldn't date him or something, and she's like, I'm happy now, and it turns out he was a douchebag. I forget his name. But yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot he existed for a hot second there. Because like his dad has been dead for 10, 20 years at this point.
Yeah, well, that was one of the big things why he went into, was it the Rangers?
Yeah, he went into like the Rangers or into the Army or something, and like he eventually just went into like special ops and like CIA stuff and all that. But yeah, I don't remember who her boyfriend was, but no, I just think that like those last few seasons are like that whole plot line too was freaking amazing. And I really enjoyed it, but
yeah, and like just kind of looking here for just like some reference, I heard like there's one of the big prolific people, in the show, and I know you're gonna get kind of hyped when you see this. Remember Larry?
Sure do, kid.
In a weird way, I loved that character.
Really?
Yeah,
I
I
always
mean,
hated Larry.
see, you know what it was? I hated him towards the end because he was just getting like on my nerves when he was working with Tyler Brennan. It wasn't Garrett. It was Tyler Brennan.
Right. What
Brennan.
did he take? Remember he took that guy hostage and he killed him because Michael was gonna shoot him with a gun. He was gonna kill him like with a sniper rifle, and um, he has trained on him. And then Larry takes the. Was it Nate he took hostage?
It it might
It
have
was
been.
somebody. Because remember he took somebody hostage and he was like backing up and he's like, "You kill me, kid. You're like you can't. You have to kill this kid too." And then like he's like backing up and then like he gets out around the corner and then like shoot. I think he shoots the guy. Like he shoots the hostage guy.
You're talking about when he was going for it was the money. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
yeah. And then he went around the corner. Michael had him train with the sniper,
Yeah.
and then he shoots by him, and then he takes him in the corner, kills the kid,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, Larry was not a good guy. But like I just hated him because every time he would see Michael, he'd be like, "What's up, kid? Like, you're gonna grow into something crazy, kid. I made you, kid."
Yeah. And kind of the backstory with Larry, he was like Michael's mentor. He worked with Michael when
Yeah.
he was in the military.
Yeah.
So not even the CIA. So the big thing is they had this big mission where was it terrorists or I forget what it was. But they had to infiltrate this building with all these terrorists that were inside.
Yeah.
Now, they could take a big loss on US life or they could kind of blow up the building and do some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So, Larry, being the sadistic asshole he is, he kind of convinces Michael, and Michael decides, let's blow it up.
Right.
And takes out not only all the targets, but a bunch of civilians.
Yeah.
And it kind of lives with Michael. And Larry has a way of pulling that out of Michael in kind of a fucked up way.
Yeah.
But he definitely helps develop Michael in more ways than one, especially with, his aspect of killing and his ability to think dynamically about different objectives or problems that he's in. But
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Larry, I mean, like you said, he was a mentor to Michael, so he did kind of, in a way, make Michael Weston Michael. But yeah, towards that, when he showed back up, it was just everything he could do to like screw with Michael, he did.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, I definitely do like that show, and I do really enjoy watching Jeffrey Donovan because I don't know if you've seen Invincible. Well, you haven't watched Invincible.
We
yet.
did. We watched a little bit of it, yeah.
Watched like 2 episodes.
Still
But
enough.
with him, he plays like the robot villain guy in Invincible. And he's also in a couple other stuff. Like he's in the Hitch. Remember that movie with Will Smith?
Yep.
He's in
Yep.
Hitch for a little bit. He's in a bunch of other stuff. He was in Sicario too. That's what I was thinking of too. You ever see that movie?
Sicario.
Yeah, where it's like the government is trying to take down like a drug cartel, and then like they find like a house in like New Mexico with like a bunch of dead bodies in it, and so they send this like special ops team or like a military team to track them down and like take them down, and it's got like Emily Blunt in it, which is like the wife of John Krasinski, who was from The Office. It's got what is his name? Benicio del Toro or somebody. Yeah, Benicio del Toro.
Oh, wait. No. Didn't we watch this?
I don't know if we watched it together,
I thought.
but I know I watched it a bunch of times. It's a really good movie. It's got what's his face in it too. Josh Brolin's in it, which is Thanos. Yeah, so basically they go down to Mexico to like take down this cartel, and then like it's just it's just like a normal spy, like a military / spy movie, to where like they have a mission, they go to do the mission, everything seems fine, and then all of a sudden, something goes terribly wrong and a bunch of people die, and
Wasn't that the one where like they were at like the border?
yeah, they're at the border, and then like
then-
the people showed up and tried to kill them. Like they were all like
They were all like in the
SUV.
cars and they were sitting here
Yeah.
and then they got out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did watch
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
We watched it here, didn't we?
I don't know.
I could have
I
sworn.
don't remember. I know I definitely seen it like a bunch of times.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I like Jeffrey Donovan as an actor, but I just think Burn Notice was his best. I mean, in my opinion, my favorite role for him.
Oh, Jeffrey.
Oh, Jeffrey.
It definitely It definitely was a really, really good.
And that other guy too, the guy that played James, the bad guy. He was in another one of my favorite shows, Suits. Yeah.
I only watched like an episode of Suits. I'm sorry, buddy.
Wow, that's hurts the soul right there.
Maybe I'll watch it. And we can do a pod on that.
Maybe I hope so. I've seen it. I've watched Suits for so many years. Since day one, I watched I watched the first episode when it came out, very first day.
See, I remember. Did you ever watch Bruce Campbell? He was the PE teacher for, what was that high school superhero movie?
Sky High.
Sky High.
Hero. Sidekick.
Hero.
Yeah, I remember that. He was that. He was also for some other fans. He was I'm pretty sure he was in in the game Resident Evil or no. What is it? He's got like another show or movie or something where he's like more known than for Burn Notice. Evil Dead. That's what it's called. Evil Dead. Yeah. So like, so do you ever see when Jeffrey Donovan surprised the Comic-Con in like 2013?
No.
So basically, Sam Axe was on a panel, right? And he was getting asked a bunch of questions, and this guy comes up and he's like, "Hey man, love your stuff. I wanted to know, how do you feel about Burn Notice or Michael Weston and all that?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's good." He's talking about it, and then he's like, "Well, I wanted to say," and he's like, and like the guy, it's supposed to be a fan, and he's like walking up with the microphone. And he's got like a big mustache and a hat, and then he takes it off. He's like, my name is. He's like, "Can I do an impression of Michael for you?" And he's like, "Sure." And he's like, "My name is Michael Weston," and it's like it is Jeffrey Donovan.
I didn't.
And he like rolls up, and then like everyone's like, "Whoa!" And then like everyone's doing like a fanfare for that. And then like right after that, he goes back into talking about like Evil Dead stuff, because like everyone loves him in that apparently.
Oh wow. Yeah. No, I didn't. I don't have much information about Evil Dead.
No, I don't know much about it either. It's you know what it is? It's Evil Dead. It's about so there's dead stuff and it's bad. It's evil.
It's like evil.
It's evil.
So you just know everything about it then.
Yeah. So like you got like evil, like it's like dead evil. It's evil when you're. So anyway,
Burn Notice. But it is funny because you and I we'll be driving or whatever it is. We're doing something. Be like, "My name is Michael Weston. I used to be a spy."
We'll literally say it randomly. We'll just be doing nothing. I'll literally think about it sometimes when I'm like, I'll be writing or typing or doing something, and I'll just be like, "My name is Michael Weston." Like I don't know why. It's just ingrained in me sometimes.
And it's so funny when we find people that have seen the show and like it as much as we do.
Because
we're doing a whole podcast on it.
Because like they'll be like you'll be. I remember when me and you first, like you were like, what was it?
You know what it was? I was like, I think we were on Discord, or something that.
We were driving. We were like dashing or something.
Was it? And I was like, I'm
pretty sure.
I think it was like I was gonna watch Burn Notice later tonight or something like that.
Yeah.
I had mentioned it, and you went, "You've seen it?" I was like, "Have I seen it?" I remember Thursday nights. I'd be getting home from football, and Dad, we can't eat right now. We got Burn Notice on in like
What are you
45
doing?
minutes.
Leave the lasagna.
The lasagna.
Leave the lasagna.
I listen to you gabagool.
Oh, dude, I remember that. I was like, "Oh my god, he's seen it." Because like I said, everyone that I've talked to, they're like, "What? Yeah. You mean Altered Carbon? You mean Grey's Anatomy?" Like, no, dude. Burn Notice. God, used to be a spy until one day
he was burned.
He got burned, not by a later.
I hate you.
Okay.
But it really is a good show, and it really has something for everybody. And it really is cool because as you see in the first like 3 episodes, which everyone really falls in love with the show is, it really does kind of help people. And it's always funny because they go to pay him at the end, and he just takes the bare minimum, and he goes, "I don't need all this. Like, this is your life savings." But there's ones where I always love when Sam's lady friends. So Sam, like I said, so Sam's like Michael's best friend, but he's also a big ladies guy, and he likes women who, as we would call them today, sugar mamas.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, so he'd be like, "Listen, my lady friend, she's kind of having some issues.
Yeah.
Could you help her out? All right, what is it?" She goes, "It's something small with her son."
Yeah.
And then he goes and meets the son, and as he's meeting the son, he's about to get killed by a
Like the
gang
son,
member.
yeah, because the son took money from like a super big mafia, like Russian mobster, but he didn't know that because he took it from like his friend who's also a part of the Russian mob. And then Sam's just in the middle, and then he's like, "Come on, Mike, like we gotta help him." And Mike's like, "All right, fine." And then it's like, "All right, but remember, Mike, don't damage this car. Like it's
Don't damage
it's
the caddy.
Claire's car. Like it's her favorite caddy, Mike, and you know how she gets when she's upset." And then it's like, and then he's like, or like if I like when Michael's trying to convince him to do something, he's like, "Come on, I need you, Sam." He's like, "But I'm about to go see Megan."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'll get you free mojito."
God damn it.
All right, make it 2.
The best is when like when Fiona and Sean. This was I think this was the first time Sean was in town, but like Sam was like, "Yo, what do we? Oh, you know what it was?
What?
I think it was that one chick from the CIA that was trying to get Michael, but she kept like tracking him and calling him,
Yes.
and Sam and him were no, that was a different episode, but regardless, Michael takes the caddy, goes on top of this parking garage, and has to create this huge diversion so Fiona and Shaw can
yeah,
get
I
away.
remember this.
And he just floors the caddy off the parking
thing.
garage.
And Sam is watching it like,
He was like, "Oh,
God damn it."
they destroyed I don't know how many caddies."
Oh my, well, he always dated chicks that had caddies. Like it was like almost like a prerequisite. Like, you have a caddy? All right.
Michael, I
I'm
can't
gonna
I
blow
can't
it
help
up.
her today.
Or like when he
We're
was
supposed to
getting,
go caddy shop.
remember he was taking down somebody and he had to get out of the Everglades, and like he took the caddy. He was like
That
whipping
was
it.
that was out of the that was with Vaughn.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, the black guy.
Oh,
And he
dude,
was
he was
like,
awesome.
he was like whipping this caddy, and he was like getting shot and like blowing the windows out and like messing up the tires, and dude, oh my god, I remember that.
Now Vaughn, for those of you I guess who haven't seen this show, and hopefully we're convincing you to watch it.
As we're like spoiling all of the show.
Listen, I don't even care if we're spoiling it because if they haven't seen it by
Came
now,
out like 15 years
yeah,
ago.
like everyone's on Amazon Prime. Just watch it. But it really is a fantastic show. But now Vaughn, I'm trying to think. He was in the CIA. Was he like a third party?
I thought he was like a weapons dealer or like a contractor or something, if I remember correctly.
Let me see here. But Michael had a lot of dealings with him. Michael ended up putting him in jail.
Oh no, he worked for the same people that burned Michael.
Yes,
Quote unquote management.
Yes, he was. Yeah, yeah.
Because he was like Michael's handler or whatever, or like the
Yes.
guy that Michael was trying to talk to get to figure out who burned him. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
And they ended up in the same maximum security prison as Simon, Guantanamo Bay. But yes, that's what it was. So Vaughn was really key into getting Michael his file.
Yeah.
And the file that was given to Michael by Vaughn, Michael was just obsessed over because it was all falsified. It was all stuff that Simon did. But
Yeah.
I think when he got it from Vaughn the first time, he didn't know about Simon yet, nor he might have known about Simon, but he didn't know that what Simon did was in his file until when he met Simon and he was in that television store.
Yeah.
And he was showing him all the catastrophes, the bombings, and he goes, "What is this?" And he goes, "These are the things that I did that are now in your file." And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
And it was insane. And then Simon goes, "Yeah, this is my doing," and they gave it to you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Dude, you're proud of that?"
Oh yeah.
But I mean, those are just the kind of people that they put in that show.
Yeah, he's a psychopath.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have to rewatch it.
Cool. Let's just do the last 30 hours on this and just watch
Sure,
the show. You
sure.
guys can get totally into it.
For sure.
But yeah, who do you think was your favorite? You know what? Who was your favorite person you hated, villain? I guess you could say. I wouldn't call him villain, but
who would be my favorite villain? I would probably say Anson.
oh
I'd probably say Anson. I mean, out of everybody, I think I liked him the most. Oh, yeah, because I just like how they introduced Anson. Remember, he was a
Oh,
like a nerd.
Well, yeah, he
Like
was the person they were helping, right?
Yeah, he was They were helping him, and they thought he was like just nobody.
Yeah, walk me through that. Walk me through that
All
episode
right,
'cause I want to relive it a little
all
bit.
right, so basically Michael gets like a tip that he needs to help this guy.
Yeah.
And he goes and he meets with him, and he didn't know it was Anson yet, but he uses a fake name, I think. And he's
Wait,
like,
wasn't it that one chick or one guy that was like, you have to,
I don't remember.
or he had like his wife hostage?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
But I remember he was like, you have to help me, and Michael was like, all right, cool. And then so like they're going through, and he's like the whole episode, Anson just seems like a normal guy, and then they're like helping him, and then it comes out that like Anson's actually the guy that's holding the girl hostage, and he's like, hi, Michael, like I'm Anson, blah blah.
Yeah,
blah.
because that girl gets killed,
yeah.
and he's like crying, and
Yeah.
then when Anson shows up at his loft later that night, he goes, "I thought your wife was dead." Listen, I don't mind killing some innocent people and
Yeah.
getting close to you.
Yeah.
I just want to know you, Michael.
Yeah.
Opens his
We can be
fridge,
friends.
eats his blueberry yogurt, and he goes, "So, let's get busy, shall we?"
Yeah, and then like the next like 8 episodes was just torture for Michael.
Torture for everyone that watched it.
Yeah.
Especially for anyone who really was like into it, because Michael is so smart, and so is Sam, Fiona, and like
Yeah.
everyone. And it's just
But
it's so
Anson is just on a different level.
yeah. Well, I mean, he did have years to plan this.
Yeah, he wanted to take Michael down for a while, but yeah, I mean, we gotta rewatch the show.
Oh yeah. Well, I see. I always watch when I don't have things to watch.
Oh yeah,
we haven't had a lot of time
Oh
lately,
dude,
so it's
I
just
have so much laundry to do today, and like chores. I'm just gonna put it on and just watch it.
just listen to it.
Just listen to it while I do stuff.
Hi, my name is Michael Weston.
I'll probably put it on. I might write some stuff today, so I'll probably put it on for that too.
Oh yeah, good background stuff, and then hearing like a car blow up. Oh yeah. Oh man. And the saddest thing, definitely like closing into the whole aspect, is when Madeline dies.
Madeline doesn't die. Remember?
Well, I would
Remember-
think she did.
Remember, she doesn't die. Remember, listen. Remember, she doesn't die. So anyway,
I hate you. I hate you so much. 'Cause if she's alive after that
she
scene,
doesn't die, Matt. It's not how that worked. It's not real. It's a TV show.
I hate you. I hate you so much,
God, dude, get a grip.
bro.
Figure yourself out.
Could you imagine her coming back to the loft? God damn it, Michael
happened?
smokes a cigarette. Mom, I told you not to smoke in this loft.
What is happening? No, I do. I think that's. I mean, this is basically like an hour-long version of a fan girl moment over Burn Notice, but yeah. I think if we haven't convinced you to watch the show now, I think if we haven't convinced the people at home to watch the show, we're not doing a good enough job.
I hope we did a good job.
Yeah, well, but yeah, no, I don't think she actually died. So.
No, she definitely did, because remember she blows herself up because
She doesn't blow. No, because remember that wasn't real. It was a dream.
No.
Yes.
Stop.
Nope.
Okay.
It wasn't real.
Word.
It
So
wasn't real. She's alive. She doesn't die.
no.
For everyone that's going to watch this show, just know she doesn't die.
I hate that you smiled.
I didn't smile.
Okay.
I never smile.
That's
I've
a
never
lie.
smiled one day in my life.
Did you actually know it takes less effort to smile than it does to frown?
Did you know that I don't care?
Did you know that I care?
I
I want everyone to smile.
crazy. Do you want to hear a fun fact?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay. Thanks. Cool. Same.
For those of you guys who didn't understand what just happened there, Gavin, for the past couple weeks, has been doing this joke. I know this isn't Burners related, but he will be like, hey, can I ask you a question? And be like, yeah. And then just be like,
Yeah,
cool,
well, you know
thanks.
what's funny about that?
What?
I'm a comedian.
No.
What's up with airplane?
I hate you so much.
Dude, all right, ready? Do you want to hear a joke?
What?
All right, so it's 2024, and they're looking to find out who's going to be the next president of the United States. Never mind.
I hate you. I hate that you're about to do this. So off topic.
Sorry.
But anyways, guys, it really is a fantastic show from top to bottom. Just get to the first like 3 episodes and you'll be hooked.
Yeah, I would say get through the first 3 episodes at least. And if you hate the show, You're dead to me. No, if
You got my number, lose it.
yeah, forget I existed. But if you hate the show, it's fine. I just, I think everyone should at least try to watch it, because especially if you're like close to us, if you know us, like our friends should watch it, because then we have some more stuff to talk about. But other than that, that's pretty much all I got. I mean, for the show, we pretty much covered all the major aspects of the show. Is there anything else you needed to add?
No, I love the show.
Oh yeah,
you guys really got to watch it. It really is spontaneous, fun, and you'll have a great time. But
yeah. Well, hey, so other than that, that's pretty much going to be it for for this episode today. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was fun to make. It was fun to kind of relive some of those memories of chilling out as a kid and watching a good TV show. So if you guys do enjoy it, I really appreciate that. I know Matt appreciates it as well, because we do put a lot of effort into these podcasts, setting everything up, researching, and everything along those lines. So if you do enjoy the episodes, go ahead and just follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, and follow us on Snapchat, things along those lines. We're
follow
on all the
our
socials.
Follow our Instagram, Stuttering in Silence.
Stuttering
I know
in Silence.
Gavin's Instagram is my name is Gavin,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, my name is _Gavin.
Yeah, mine is Matthew J. Lepore.
Yep. And then for the Stuttering in Silence, it's Stuttering in Silence _pod, right?
Yeah, that's what it should be. Let me just check that here. But yeah, guys, follow us on the socials. I hope you guys like this. There's going to be more out. Hopefully we'll be on Spotify soon and kind of portraying that out. Or if you're listening to this currently there, then fantastic. But
yeah.
That's all we got. Everyone enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope it's as fun as it can be.
All right,
Take
cool.
care.